right, everybody, we are back and excited to start our first Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate our community tuning in each and every weekend. What I try to do on the weekends is answer your questions live. Now, I know the show obviously has a delay in coming out, but on my end, it is live. I open up the Word document that my team puts together from all of your questions that come in each and every day at stephencabral.com/askcabral, and I order them, or I should say I read them out loud in the order they've come in to the team. And of course, there is no editing done or any pre-rehearsal at all. So I read these questions for the very first time as they come in, as I open up this document. So without further ado, that's how we run the show. I love being able to answer your questions unfiltered. That's what we're all about here. So we want to give you a second opinion. But of course, no medical advice, no medical treatment plans, no medical cures, no medical diagnosis. Someone asked me the other day, how are you not able to get medical advice? The only people in the world that the American Medical Association has granted the authority of being able to give medical advice are licensed medical doctors, MDs. That's it. You can't get medical advice from anybody else unless it's a licensed medical doctor. That's really what it's all about. So but we don't even want to give medical advice because we do not practice allopathic care. We don't practice a pill for every ill or palliating symptoms. Our goal is to find the underlying root cause, because remember, most of these things you didn't have when you were 4 years old or 8 years old. So why do you have them now? You have the same exact genetics. You can't tell me it's all about genetics, right? There's something that happened in terms of your deficiencies and reserves that ran low as you got older, or a big stressor happened, as well as your toxicities. When we figure those out, we can figure out how to rebalance your body. All right, first question today is from Kelly. And Kelly says, what are your thoughts on hormone replacement therapy or treatments? So here's the thing. It is a wild and open-ended question, not from you, Kelly, but just the thought in general. It is so nuanced. I am not a black and white practitioner. Some people online, again, anybody who runs a practice will never give you an answer in black and white. The only people who give black and white answers are for people who are looking to do marketing and grow their followers online. That's it. Because they don't work with, in our case, 100,000 plus people a year. Because not everybody hormone replacement therapy is right for, right? And some people, they're in their later 60s, and it is. And then it's also how much, right? So I have men and women come to me, and I run their stress, mood, and metabolism test that looks at their estrogen, progesterone, DHEA, testosterone, right? And then all their cortisol numbers, et cetera, thyroid. And their hormones are off the chart. I have men come into my practice and their free testosterone is an 800. Okay. That's not testosterone replacement therapy in any way, shape, or form, right? That is, and again, totally fine if you want to do it, but that is anabolic steroids, right? Like that's, again, I just want to, like, it's okay. I have no problem with that. I'm not judging at all. No problem at all. Like at all. But normal testosterone for a male is around 70. We don't like it to ever go below that, even if you're 70 years old, to 149, right? That's normal free testosterone in whether it's allopathy or naturopathy. Like that's normal. That's functional medicine. That's the range that it should be. In my practice, we like it to be between 90 and 140. That's it. And we get great results with that naturally, right? So if you come in at 800, that's not HRT, but that's not TRT, but people say that it is, right? Same goes for estrogen, same goes for progesterone. You can use a minuscule dose given multiple times per week, or estrogen, progesterone can be given daily, just depending on how you're taking it. And you can't mimic exactly. Just keep in mind, like with testosterone, you can an injection really more than every 2 days to 3 days, because it actually takes time to get out of your system. So let's say you do it twice a week. That's pretty much the best way to do it right now. It's high, but also there's no highs and lows. For me, I'm not on testosterone. So I have a high in the morning and then it starts to come down throughout the day. If I work out mid-afternoon, a little bit of an increase and then it comes back down again. When you're on TRT or any hormones, it's high the whole day. That's not mimicking the natural body. Now, having said that, I actually think that there may be a time and place. And when the hormones are really low and you can't balance them naturally, that you may want to increase them to a normal dosage, not a super physiological dosage, right? Not a super Super. That's with the Boston accent coming out. So that's my thoughts on HRT. All right. And in our practice, nobody needs it before the age of 55. And I mean, like nobody that we've seen, really. Now, unless, of course, I shouldn't say that. There's always a time and place, right? But it's not 1 out of 100. It's okay. Let's say a male is no longer able to produce testosterone for a reason. Okay. Or a woman isn't able to produce estrogen or progesterone. Now, even after menopause, there are still nutrients that we give. I teach that in the female hormones course. I teach that in level 3. But there's just so much that you can do. Estrogen support, progesterone support, DHEA, all of these things are going to be great boosters for women, daily meal support, DHEA for men, but there's so much more to it because you also want to find out what's decreasing your levels, which is just as important. So long answer, apologies, but it's so nuanced. And again, there is no pill for every ill. That includes natural health as well. Jacob's up next. I recently watched your video, Is Too Much REM Sleep an Issue? In the last month, I've been having a lot more REM sleep due to more stress. I just want to know if being on my phone before bed could be contributing to more REM sleep because my phone helps me take my mind off things, but then maybe because it makes my brain active, it causes me to have many dreams, but that's not why I'm here asking for help. Okay. Yeah, well, happy to answer this. So, if you get more than 2 hours of deep sleep, it can mean that your body's really trying to recover from physiological stress, hard workouts, injury, etc. If your sleep tracker gets more than 2.5 hours of REM, it could be because there's a lot of anxiety or a lot of psychological stress versus physiological. Okay, so that's what we look at. So the test would be this, Jacob. Are you stressed about a life event right now? That could be why you're 2.5+ hours of REM. Now, sometimes it depends on the reader that you're looking at, but I've done all the testing, and I can tell you for sure that Whoop definitely is a little higher on the deep that I think is truly accurate, but the others are fairly accurate. Okay, so here's what I want to share with you. We just remove the phone for 5 to 7 days before bed. Read a book, do something else, kind of take your mind off it that's mindless. And then you'll say, okay, did your REM sleep drop? But either way, if your REM is above 2.5 hours, I don't think it's worry time, meaning like to worry one more thing about it, but there is something that I think needs to be resolved. I really do. And so I would look at that. 2.5 is okay. But once you start pushing that 3, wow, what is your mind, psychologically trying to work through? Or are you just getting 10 hours of sleep, 11 hours of sleep a night? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. You're going to have more deep and more REM because you go through more sleep cycles. So again, as I said to Kelly, everything is nuanced. But for the average person, getting 7 to 9 hours of total sleep a night, about 20% or so deep, 25% or so would be REM. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. I've got lots of shows on sleep as well. You can just go to stephencabral.com/podcasts, scroll through the images, find the sleep one, all the shows you could want. You can actually search it as well on deep and REM sleep and how to improve it. All right, Tina is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm hoping you can help me since nobody else has been able to. I'm low on vitamin D for years, steadily at 19, but have a strange reaction whenever I try to supplement with it. I'll immediately start my period, even if I had just finished my cycle a week or 2 prior. It will start again. I've done DNA testing and discovered that I'm compromised in every pathway when it comes to vitamin D. I've tried various forms of vitamin D3 from gummies and capsules and even patches, with always the same result of starting my cycle prematurely. Every doctor I've talked to has never heard of this reaction and can't figure it out. Please help. Okay. Well, I'm happy to help with this because vitamin D can actually increase androgens in the body. It itself can act as part of the androgenic pathway. So some people, I've never heard of it restarting someone's cycle, but that doesn't mean there isn't a time and place for everything, because I have heard of it increasing testosterone levels quite high in many women, some men, and also a greater amount of a conversion to DHT and androgenic-based acne as well. So you're not alone there. I just want to let you know this. So how I've helped people in my practice, very, very simply, that you are often missing, like most people, the cofactors. So with your daily nutritional support, you get vitamin K1 and you get vitamin K2 as MK47. That's important. Magnesium is really important as well to absorb that in. But so is, truthfully, your zinc. All of those are really important to make vitamin D work. And if there's any type of liver inflammation or toxicity, that's an issue. If the kidneys aren't functioning properly, that's an issue with vitamin D. So we need liver in working condition, kidneys in great working condition. So what I think is 21-day functional medicine detox. Again, not providing medical advice. That's what I recommend. And so we just decrease healthy levels of inflammation in the body. Okay. You can use the product called Inflammasoothe. Okay. 3 capsules at breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Your choice, however you want to do it. The vitamin D3, take it with K2. All of these products, by the way, are at stephencabral.com/shop. If you don't want to purchase them from Equilife, no problem at all with me. Totally fine with that. Just look at the ingredients and purchase them from any functional medicine practitioner or from a functional medicine brand. Okay, so vitamin D3 and K2, but also take it with something like the daily nutritional support at the same time in the morning. Now, the nice thing about the liquid vitamin D3 is that you can use 1 drop. That's all that you're going to use. You're going to use 1 drop for the first week. The second week, you'll go to 2 drops and you'll see if anything changes. Now, if you just don't react well to nutritional supplements because the process has to move through the gut and the liver through a different pathway, again, it does that even with the sun, but understood. You can also use a vitamin D lamp. And I made a recommendation for my favorite vitamin D lamp. Let's see if I can find it really quick. And then if not, just ask at cabralsupportgroup.com and we'll be able to find that for you. But let me see if I can find it right now for you. Oh, there it is. It looks like it was on episode 3325. stephencabral.com/3325. All right. And that's the vitamin D lamp. That's my last resort. Because again, I could say, oh, just go out in the sun, right? But not everybody has that ability. They work 9 to 5, whatever their hours might be. But also, you just might not want to go out in the sun in that way and get a suntan. So the vitamin D lamp gives you all the benefits of vitamin D without the actual tanning part to it. All right. But I explained that on the episode. Hopefully that was helpful. Erin is up next. Erin says, middle of the night question, help. So this has been going on a while and it's so frustrating. I wake up during the night and I have a sensation of gnawing, gurgling sensation somewhere above the belly button. Sometimes if I don't eat something, I start feeling awful. I can't figure out what is happening and what to do. I did the oat test, which came back for fungal and mold overgrowth. Is this related to it? Will I ever be able to sleep without having a snack during the night? So frustrated on this. Thank you. That's a great question. So, all right, let's go through the human anatomy. So let me grab my buddy Walter. If you're watching this on video, you can follow along. All right, here is Walter. I always have to point to it because it is not readily apparent. So you can see right here, I'm pointing to where the human belly button is, the navel. And you can see it's on this big squiggly mess right here, which is your small intestine. It's about 20 feet long of small intestine. So that's all below the belly button. When people think about what's below their belly button, they think of their stomach. Totally understandable. We're always thought like, oh, that's my stomach. It's actually not your stomach. Those are your intestines. That's your small intestine where all the food gets moved before it goes to this large intestine. Then it's going to come up under the right side, and that is called the cecum. And then it moves to the transverse colon and then down the descending colon. So right above your belly button is actually your transverse colon. That's part of your large intestine. Your large intestine is about 5 to 6 feet. So it could be your large intestine or right above that, your stomach. So most likely, if you're hungry, it's the stomach. If it's the gurgling, it's possible that it's the large intestine. One way to see, if you're really that hungry is this. And I've got a podcast on this. If you're still hungry, within an hour and a half or 2 hours of eating, eat more of this. You can check out that podcast. You can always ask if you can't find it at cabralsupportgroup.com. Just ask a question. It's free and you'll get same day answers. So if you're still hungry, I'll just cut to the chase. After an hour and a half of eating, like I'm hungry again, you didn't eat enough protein and you didn't eat enough fiber. So protein and veggies, more protein and veggies at that meal. Do I not think you should eat healthy fat? Of course I do. Is it going to keep you satiated as protein and fiber? No, it's not, right? So just a little bit more of that and that'll be good. So how many hours before bed did you eat? Because really, honestly, let's just say you had 6 ounces of salmon, you had 5 pieces of asparagus, you had some lettuce as well, or some broccoli, whatever, another veggie, and you had a half a sweet potato. And then on top of that, you put some olive oil. Okay, that's enough food. That'll keep you full for 3-4 hours. Just in your stomach, it hasn't digested that. So that's plenty of food. After that, it could be a digestive issue. If you think it's blood sugar, well, then you could wear a CGM or just buy a $20 glucometer and prick the finger to see what it might be. All right. And then if you came back, you said you came back with yeast or mold overgrowth or yeast overgrowth, I mean, you're going to do the CBO protocol next, so that'll take care of that without a doubt. So that's what to do. And again, you can find that at stevencabral.com/CBO. All right. All right, let's get to one more question. Long answers on my end today, but hopefully they're leading people in the right direction. E is up next. E says, hello, and thank you so much for your care and generosity. A couple of questions, all related. When I emailed support, they emphasized not recommended to combine protocols. But on episode 837, Detox Do's and Don'ts, you said it was fine. I feel confused. When and which protocols is it okay to combine? I'm currently doing the CBO, and I want to do mold and heavy metal detox. I'm wondering if they can be combined to speed up the process. Oh, well, the answer is no. So on exercise 837, Detox Do's and Don'ts, the functional medicine detox can be combined with any other protocol. That's the functional medicine detox. The heavy metal detox, those are all go in order, right? So it goes parasupport for parasites first, then the CBO protocol for the gut, then it goes CBO finisher, and the CBO finisher can be combined with whatever you do next, which is the mold, or it can be combined with the heavy metal detox. Any one of those are fine, all right? You don't combine them all together. So your body's, remember, it's a lot going on in your body and a lot for your kidneys and liver to process. We're helping them out. You don't want to overdo it. I know that you want to speed up the process. I get it. The CBO protocol followed by the mold actually works better that way because the CBO has ingredients that are also working on mold at the same time, albeit not as strong as the mold protocol. So there's always a method behind it. And you can always ask me what's the right order to do, and we can help with that for sure. All right, question number 2, related to the CBO finisher. It sounds like it can be helpful to start sealing the gut during the CBO. Can you talk about this a bit? Yes, and I actually chatted about this in previous podcasts. You're actually welcome to do the CBO finisher after 4 weeks of starting the CBO. Why do we do it afterwards? Well, one is you want to decrease overall inflammation anyways. You want to rebalance the gut wall, but we also don't want to increase the price, because all of these things cost money. And so we want to be cognizant of investment in your own health, in your own body. And then also you can wait until afterwards. And if you can wait, great. But yes, you can start it after 4 weeks if you wanted to. Would this be in addition to doing it afterwards? No, it would be at the same time. So the CBO finisher in an ideal world is 12 weeks. It's pretty simple. Actually, and you can't do the whole CBO finisher until after the CBO because you can't add the probiotic because that would be out of order with the CBO. Remember, again, my team and I have spent our life doing this. So for me, what year is this? This year marks 30 years in the health-based profession. Full-time, 25 years. And so, we've done this a long, long time. So just again, for you, what I'm saying is for best results, follow the system. We've met with 300,000 people one-on-one. We've got over 500,000 labs of data. So that's how I would do it. So you could use the healthy gut support during the CBO protocol after 4 weeks, but not the probiotic. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. All right. Thank you, everybody, for writing in. Now, remember, I will be back answering 5 to 6 more questions tomorrow. So I appreciate all of you tuning in. I know it was a strange, abrupt ending to the show, but so be it. This is always live, and I just always try to do my best, some days better than others. But thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you. Enjoy your weekend. I'll talk with you soon. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.